it. If you can't do it, you won't be here listening it. But the only thing is your negative ego, a false humility. Oh, no, I am a very simple man. I can't do these big things. Greatest ego. In your humility, you want to cover your ego. Be very careful. This is very common to all disciples. In any ashrams, I say this. You need not be so obedient because he has ordained you to spread this message. He has given you the books. Now what should you do? Study the books, spread the message, practice the truths. So your yoga of divine works is very simple. You need not ask anybody, what is my yoga of works? What am I supposed to do? You are not supposed to do, you have to do. Your other work, we suppose you do whatever you work as a mother or a sister, as a working man. But this work you have to do. And now we come to the master of the works. Is it that chapter? Equality and the three modes of nature. The three modes of nature are what I have already told you, the sattva, the rajas and the tamas. And you remember, these are prakritic in nature. You just can't avoid sattva, rajas and tamas. If sattva is more, rajas and tamas will be in a little quantity. That is what Sri Krishna says, the gunatita sthiti. You just can't control these three gunas. If you have sattva, the other two will be lesser in quantity. If you are rajasic, then the other two will be lesser in quantity. If you are tamasic, the other two will lesser in quantity. And now when this topic of sattva and rajas and tamas has come, you remember three more words. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. These are three beautiful words. Okay. We have tamas. Tamas means not sitting like a stone. Tamas means we don't have knowledge. For example, I don't know the knowledge of chemistry. So I have inertia of that knowledge. Then what should I do? I should learn that knowledge. I get that knowledge. Then what should I do? The inertia is gone, that knowledge has come. Now what should I do? I should apply it in harmony, sattva. You should not overuse it or underuse it. When you are cooking, if you undercook, tamas. If you overcook, rajas. You cook it properly, you eat well, sattva. So these three characteristics you just can't avoid in nature. And in integral yoga, it is a part and parcel of your arsenal. It is your ammunition. It is with this with which we arm ourselves to go ahead in the path of yoga. So these three, the Ichha Shakti, is the yoga of works. Jnana Shakti is, Ichha Shakti is Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Shakti is Jnana Yoga. What is the yoga of knowledge? And then Kriya Shakti is yoga of works. Kriya Shakti is inertia, because you can utilize only that subject which is inert. If I can make you understand, is it clear? You can hit somebody only if you have something inert in you, a sword or something. Suppose you have a water or a gaseous sword, what happens? Can you hit anybody? So, for Kriya Shakti, tamas is the dominant factor. So, whenever you want to work, if you want to cook, the desire, you should have what? The inert utensils. Suppose you put it on the fire and it burns, you can't cook. So you understand, inertia is also very important. Tamas is also very important characteristic. Unfortunately, I don't know, in India, when we say tamas, we are afraid. But with tamas, we mean the ability to do work. Kriya Shakti. But the ability to do work, Kriya Shakti, must be dominated by knowledge. If you don't have a knowledge, your actions have no meaning. But suppose you don't have bhakti, devotion to that work, though you have the knowledge, though you have the means to do work, if you don't have devotion to do that work, bhakti yoga, you will not work. That is Ichha Shakti. So Ichha, Kriya and Jnana forces are linked with Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Next. Then how to control these three forces, Ichha, Kriya and Jnana? Or you can in another way say, Ichha is the physical body, Bhakti, Yoga is the vital body, Jnana Yoga is the mental body. Am I clear? It is not confusing? Not sufficiently confusing. Huh? So these three yogas are linked with these three gunas. And these three gunas are linked with our three bodies. So this is the integration which we have to do. Next. And what does that just back? Witness. Be a witness to what is happening. And this practice you can do it 24 hours a day. The other one, other practice, what did I say about the other practice? See where your ego is coming up and crush it. These practices must be a part of your daily routine, everyday incident. You always be careful and be aware where the ego is coming up. And next, you see and watch the Ichha, Kriya and Jnana Shaktis, how they are being utilized by your three Purushas. The Annamaya Purusha, the Pranamaya Purusha and the Manomaya Purusha. Next. They rise and fall. Next. This is the formula. The individual ego must cease to strive. So you should not decide what you want to achieve. Who should decide? The divine should decide. But the divine can't come in. Then who should decide? The Guru will decide. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve. It seems that Kabir Das used to say, Guru Govind do khade, kake lagu paaye, balihari Guru aapne, Govind diyo bataye. It seems that at midnight, the Guru and the God, Govinda, both came and knocked the door. The disciple opened. Now the priority, to whom he should bow first? To the God or to the Guru? Then he said, I bow to the Guru first, because if he is not there, I do not recognize God. So the entire yoga of divine works can be simplified as doing the Guru's bidding. Then no individual ego. And our Guru has 5 dreams. All of you know it. So we don't have to wait